Oh, they're over here? All right, we are live. Sarasota, Bradenton, McCurdy's Comedy Theater. With John DiCrosta, who just performed for this sold-out audience. Sold-out standing ovation. It was insane. It was crazy. It was nuts. John, now, do you remember the first time you played the club?
Your club?
Yes. That was at the Holiday Inn Airport Marina, wasn't
yeah.
it? Yes.
Yeah, it sure was. It was by the pool, the little room by the pool outside there. Yeah, I remember that night. My good buddy, Rob, gave me your name, and I said...
Rob Lederman.
Yeah, Rob Lederman.
Who's still a radio host up in Buffalo.
In Buffalo, New York, on 97
Because
Rock.
he did bad things, and they made him stay in Buffalo.
Yeah, and he gave me your name. He said, you got to work for this guy. It's a great town. It's a great room. Les is like family, and that was how long ago?
I want to say 20 years.
20 or 25, whatever. I mean, for the life of my kids, I remember bringing baby pictures down here.
And they're both in college.
21, yeah, man. So
that's what I was going to say.
Long time.
It has been a long time. And you have had a hell of a year, and you've been, and I'm not saying because you've been posting it on Facebook because you've been, I think, as incentive to other people, but you have lost 50 pounds, 60 pounds since the last time you were here?
Yeah,
is
10
that
months,
correct?
I lost 50 pounds.
And,
yeah.
And you know, we were talking about last night, I never really thought of you as being like overweight, and then you brought the before and after pictures out.
Yeah, when you see the before, you're like, why didn't anybody tell me this? But I wasn't obese, but I was clearly overweight, and yeah, so I got a little motivation, man. I did a television pilot in Los Angeles, and one of my good friends posted a still of my head, and I was like, you need to take that off your Facebook. I look like I swallowed Dom DeLuise. And then I used that as a little motivation, and just, you know, I've been feeling little creaks and you know, pain in the morning, getting up, and I've been doing the ships a lot, and if you've ever taken cruises, you know, a lot of the elevators are taken by the passengers, so I'll take the stairs, and after one flight, I'm like... And then the tip of the iceberg, the one that put me over the top, was this guy on the ship. One night, seconds before I went on stage, he comes over to me and he pats me on the stomach and he goes, what is happening here? I'm like, what are you, Boris from Bullwinkle cartoon? You have dynamite in your pocket? And he goes, what is happening here? And I kind of knew what the guy was talking about. I said, what, you don't like my shirt? He goes, no, you start to look like me. And this guy is a big guy, and I went, all right, I'm done. Next week I went home, joined a gym, and been at it. And yeah.
And you didn't do anything drastic, right?
No. I just
like you did, like you're in LA where people go get colonics and stuff like that.
Yeah, and a lot of operations, a lot of easy way outs, and no, I did everything we're taught since kindergarten. I started eating right, exercising, and getting rest. And it's something in our business, all those things are hard to do.
Especially when you're on the road.
Yeah, that's what
and especially when you're on a cruise ship.
On a cruise ship, it's tough.
With nothing to do.
It really is. It's really hard. But you just got to learn how to say no and just do it. It's that simple. You just gotta...
Now, did it change your act or the way that you handled yourself on stage at all? I mean, have you noticed? Is there anything different?
I don't have to towel off as much. Do you remember I used to have to...
Yes, you brought a towel with you.
I have to towel my forehead after every punchline. Now I can wait to the end and do it. I'm dead serious. I was like dripping. And are you clapping for my moisture? And yeah, so I mean, that has helped. Yeah, it's helped.
But you didn't have anything in your act about being overweight or anything like that before that I remember.
No, because I was denying the fact that I was.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But you know that everything for a dollar manager, I can't even do that good anymore.
Oh, right, because you haven't done that at all.
I don't have a big belly. anymore as much as I used to anymore. And this everything for a dollar store guy. I used to say, you know, what the heck? I don't even remember.
That was the one where, well, it was like the person came in and wanted to know how much this was.
Yeah, I'd go into the everything for a dollar store.
You had the lady.
Right. I'd go in as a practical joke. I'd go into the everything for a dollar store and I go, hey, excuse me, how much are these? And the girl would say, oh, we just got those. I'll have to get the manager. Now that's not the joke. The joke is there's a manager at the everything for a dollar store. Loser. So the girl would freak out. Mr. Wiggins, there is an emergency. We need you on the floor. And Mr. Big Shot Manager, he would come out, and this is the bit I can't do as well anymore, so I don't have the gut, but he'd come in and go, what do you need, Mercy? And now I don't have the belly. And she would say, these new things, there's no tag. How much are they? Oh, the new things? $1, I think. Let me get the book. And 3 blocks away, there's a 99-cent store.
And as you were doing the lady, right?
Yeah.
That's very close to the same voice of the guy that goes to the emergency room because he has a gerbil up his butt.
Now we're going to the first night at the Holiday Inn.
Yes, that is
yeah.
Right.
We were trying to talk about a bit I used to do in the 80s, dare I say.
Yes.
About
do you remember that? Do you remember that was like a thing that supposedly gay would put Richard Gere supposedly. Yeah, but we really no,
he is hot.
Right.
And so,
okay.
And basically the gist of my joke was, how do you go into the emergency room and explain that you have a gerbil in your ass? And that was it. And that was another. But excuse me, emergency. And then I go, emergency. And everybody's ignoring him, and I'd be like, emergency. I seem to have a gerbil.
Oh, good Lord!
I got to dig up some tape on that.
It's just all silly, isn't it?
Yeah.
So and now you're and we talked about this several years ago. You have so many of these distinct characters in your show that are a big part of the show that people look forward to, and it took you a while to be able to drop some of them out.
Oh, that was the hardest thing. Yeah.
People would you go, I've been doing this. The thing is, for so many years, I've dropped comics because out of schedules because I've used them for 10, 15 years, and their act never changed. They were funny, but their act never changed. So, people would be like, hey, we like them, but we've seen them 4 or 5 times. People didn't want you to change your act. Right. You were wanting to change it, and they weren't allowing it.
Yeah, they would. I had a lady recently come up to me in Valencia, California. She was a big fan. She's been coming out for 10 years, and she actually said she's been there the last 5-6 times I've been there, and she said that 5 times ago, she goes, "Are you going to do the skydiving thing that was on your first CD?" I'm like, no, I haven't done that in 15 years. You better do it. You better do it because I love that piece, and it's on your first CD, and it's your piece. You should know. I said, I don't even know how that goes. And so that last 5 times she's there in the front row. Are you going to do the skydiving? Right in the middle of the show. Skydiving. Do the skydiving bit. And I'm like, I don't know how it goes. You wrote it. It's on your CD. So the last time I was there, which was about 3 weeks ago, I had to put my first CD in the tape player on the way up to the gig and listen to my CD so I could do the goddamn skydiving pit. I can't remember it!
He doesn't know it. He doesn't know it. You know, it's so funny because people will come up to us. Yeah, it happens always. They'll come up to you and they'll go, remember? They'll go, remember that thing you did? You know, and they will remember it verbatim. And you literally have no recollection at all as to what the hell they're even talking about. It's amazing to me that people will remember things like that.
There's certain people in my life that have photographic memory. My cousin Mark is like that. When I started doing ships, a lot of guys, if you have ever done cruises, and I'm sure a lot of you have, a lot of guys repeat their shows. I like having 5 different 30-minute shows. So I really stockpile the material. I wrote a lot of new different things for this ship exclusively. And I was digging up a lot of old stuff. You know, like the dollar store I don't do in clubs anymore, but I'll do it on the ship. But I can call my cousin Mark and I'll go, hey, what was the thing I did about the rubber bands? And he'd go, oh, the thing about the rubber bands, you go into this.
What is the difference? Because a lot of comics do. You know what? The metamorphosis of stand-up comedy is that most people, I think, know. We think you know it and probably don't. There were hardly any stand-up comedy clubs in the country until 1980.
Yeah.
And there were maybe a dozen, yep. I guess. And then from 1980 to 1985, something like 400 opened across the country.
Yeah.
And so it was just an explosion for this art form. And they've kind of run its course, and they've gone up and down. And now, really, good comedy clubs are now, I mean, there's still a lot of them out there,
but the strong ones have survived, and the markets that they belong in and that are well supported and well run are still open. They're still. But
what's happened is you got so many comedians, so the work in the clubs can't support the comics, and now cruise ships have become the lifeblood. Of your touring stand-up comedy.
All the ships are doing it now.
Yeah, they've all done it because it's cheaper. I think. Because they don't have to have a band, they don't have to have rehearsals. That's the beautiful thing about stand-up comics. We're low maintenance. We need a microphone and a room, and that's it. But do you find much of a difference between performing for people who are on a cruise ship and performing for an audience in a comedy theater?
I do. I can't put my finger on what the difference is, but yeah, it's a different vibe for some reason. I think on the ship, it's like giving people free tickets to a comedy club. Like when I work in Vegas, a lot of times you get free tickets to the show in the building that you're staying in. I don't think those people care as much for the product as much as the people that shelled out $20, $30. No, we're not.
That's because she got a free ticket.
She
got a free ticket, and she's trying to explain that she enjoyed the show even though she got in for free.
Usually in every room there's that one person that but normally people that get people on the ships, they'll wander into the comedy club because they A, don't know what's going on, or B, there's nothing else going on, so they're not a comedy connoisseur. So it's not as good with a comedy club like this. I think everybody they're here for comedy. They're here for a comedy show. They know what they're walking through the door. So it is a little different vibe, I think.
The intent. Anybody have a question for John? Anything at all? Yes, back there. No! I don't even know what it.
I don't even remember it. I could not recreate it.
I can't remember it either. I don't remember the skydiving.
I could not recreate it. I really couldn't.
I don't know. You'll have to buy his first CD.
Yeah, you got to buy my first CD.
You have to buy.
Hey, I'll have my new CD out there, and it was recorded in my favorite comedy club in the country, McCurdy's Comedy Theater. Yep.
Which you can hear a lot on Sirius and XM.
Yeah, it's playing really heavy rotation on Sirius XM.
Absolutely.
on the Blue Collar channel and Raw Dog. Yes. That right. Right, 2 guys and a squirrel.
A squirrel?
She had to mention the squirrel.
Oh, how? You did a squirrel?
I think that does put me over the edge.
Yeah. Yeah. You're gay in a whole different way when you do a squirrel. Was there anybody else with a question? Anything at all for John? John, what? Is that it? Oh, yes? Was there something? Yes?
What do you like most about what you do?
The immediate gratification, the immediate pat on the back. When you guys, when most people that work 9 to 5 or whatever, a regular job, you get a Christmas bonus or you'll get a once-a-year raise or whatever. I get at the end of every show, every time I punch out, I get to hear the thanks. And it's a good feeling. And yeah, it's a great feeling. You know, to get pat on the back every evening. It's not something it's my drug of choice. I mean, I don't drink, I don't do drugs, I don't fool around on my wife. No, I don't.
I know, I've tried to.
2 guys and a squirrel.
Okay. We've tried to get them to. No, it's the beauty of this sport.
Yeah.
You know, unlike any other type of performance, it's what makes it challenging, and also what makes it so great is that everything else, every other type of performance, you do the entire performance, and then you find out whether people enjoyed it or not.
Yeah.
And with this, you find out moment to moment to moment.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
And there's nothing like it.
It's immediate thumbs up, thumbs down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of love.
One more question over here for John.
Yes.
I loved working with Michael Bay. I was in the second film. I played a character called the Doctor. I resurrect Megatron from the first movie, and yeah. And I'm a little silver spider that crawls around on top of Shia LaBeouf that tries to give him a lobotomy. And then after I was done with that whole character, which was really a thrill, I was with Michael and the sound guy, and Michael said that, well, I guess that's a wrap on the Doctor after I finish all my lines and cleaning up different things. And the sound guy handed him a little Post-it note, and Michael looked at it and read it, and he goes, do you want to do some more robots? And I'm like, yes, absolutely. So there's a kitchen scene where Shia drops a shard from the first movie into the kitchen, and the blender and the wall clock and the microwave, and I'm most of all those voices of all the little tiny transformers chasing Shia through the house, going yeah. That's no. What's that? No, I didn't get to be with her or meet her.
Anything else?
Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thanks a lot for coming out. I got a couple of announcements, and John,
thanks,
give
everybody.
John time to get outside there with his DVDs.